You haven't been home recently. What are you doing? And where?
I'm working. I've been busy lately, so I've been staying at a place nearby. Don't be all nosy.
Jim told me the news, so won't you come home?
What news?
Jim got a job. Now he has a job for when he graduates college. It looks like he got a job at a pretty good company, so I was hoping we could go out to celebrate.
Jim got a job? That's good news.
Right? So can you tell me when you're coming home?
Now you're no longer of any use to me.
What? What do you mean?
Thanks for looking after my son for 20 years. There's no need for you anymore.
No need for what?
Jim will be moving out now that he got a job, right? You can move out too.
I'm not following.
Why not? You were just in charge of raising Jim. Since I don't need you anymore, I'll have you move out.
So you make me do all the housework and child raising for 20 years? But the moment you find out Jim got a job and is moving out, you try to get rid of me?
Of course. You're of no use to me whatsoever.
That's a harsh way of saying it. So you just used me.
I have to take advantage of what I have, right? You're my wife, so I can use you however I want. I've used as much as I can use, so now you're useless. I can throw you out.
You always liked being the man of the house. I also worked, but you never did any housework.
That's exactly why. I'm supporting you.
Supporting me? You barely put in any money.
Don't complain. I work every day. I don't need to take crap from a part-timer like you.
Okay, fine. I won't say any more. Why don't you at least congratulate Jim in person? We can talk about this later.
What? Are you trying to act like his mom now, even though you're not? Jim probably doesn't even think of you as his mom.
I didn't know you thought that way. I've treated him as my own for 20 years.
It's the wife's job to take care of the child. Isn't it natural to raise your stepson? Don't be patronizing me now.
That's not important right now. I'm asking what you want to do for Jim.
I won't be seeing you anymore.
What?
It'll be weird. I'll celebrate with Jim after you move out. So, don't worry.
Never mind. Sorry, Jim. I called your father, but he's busy with work. Can we celebrate just the two of us?
It's fine, forget him. He's probably out drinking, right?
Oh, don't say that. Your father is working hard for us.
You don't have to say things like that anymore.
What?
You're too patient with him. You work too. So shouldn't you give yourself a break?
I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
He doesn't care about me. But I'm not at an age where I can't go against it anymore. I'm learning to not care about it anymore.
Still, he's your father. You have to take care of him.
Why do I have to care about someone who never cared about me? And take care of them just because we're related by blood?
You've proved your point. No wonder you were hired to work at a big company. Tonight is barbecue night.
My treat.
Why? We're celebrating for you.
We're celebrating for you, too.
What?
Are you still living at home? Move out already!
Have you even congratulated Jim yet?
Huh? I'll do that later. He doesn't need looking after anymore, so you're not needed. I'm marrying someone else, so I'm leaving you now.
That's great. Thank you.
What?
I've been wanting to get a divorce, so thanks for starting the process. I'm glad to hear you're marrying another woman, too.
What's up with you?
What should we do about the divorce papers? I'm moving out, but make sure you pay all the utility bills. Don't let the food go bad in the fridge, too.
I know that.
And the papers?
Fill them out and leave them. I'll turn them in later.
No, I can't do that.
What?
I don't want to leave anything unclear, and leaving the timing of the divorce up to you doesn't sit well with me. I'll have my attorney send them to your workplace.
What? Hold on. What are you talking about?
If you don't return them in time, you might get a visit from my attorney.
I said wait. What are you saying? What's going on?
Huh? What? You should be happy that your wife is thrilled about getting a divorce. And you're able to live with your new woman. What's not to get?
Of course I don't get it. What do you mean, attorney? That's the part I don't get.
I hired an attorney. I have to get a big compensation check from you.
Compensation?
Did you think you were just going to get a divorce when you were having an affair? I'm not backing down. At the least, I'll have you pay compensation money.
What do you mean by compensation? What the hell? I can give you a couple $100 to settle things. Don't hire an attorney. Don't make things so complicated.
A couple $100? All of the work that I've done amounts to just a couple $100?
What? Why are you getting so upset?
To get the maximum amount, I had my friend introduce me to a really good attorney.
What the maximum amount?
It looks like it's not going to be a couple $100. Plus, she's giving me a friends and family discount, so I'll be able to pay with the small amount of savings I have. I'll be able to bill you through the attorney fees along with the compensation money. So there'll be no problems.
There's a ton of problems. This is going way too fast. What's happening? When did you have time to prepare for all of this?
When I found out you were trying to get rid of me, I completely agreed with getting a divorce. But I will be claiming my rights. After all, I've been oppressed all this time as your wife.
You thought of all of this in this short period of time? But you still don't have any proof of the affair. You can't claim compensation money if you don't have proof.
Yeah, that's right.
Also, if you send an attorney to my workplace, I'll sue you for defamation.
Go right ahead. I'm saying all of this because I have proof.
Huh? You have proof?
Actually, Jim helped me.
What?
He's your son after all, so I didn't think he would help me. But it looks like blood doesn't matter if you care for them.
Wait a second. I can't wrap my head around this.
I've raised him since he was 2, so I guess he knows I love him.
What do you mean Jim helped you?
Your son has chosen your wife, the person who raised him. He helped me gather evidence, and recommended I get a divorce when he got a job.
What? Him? Why would he do that? He recommended getting a divorce?
Even to your own son, you were trash. So getting a divorce and compensation is best for me, he told me. I think so too, so that's what I'll do.
I can't believe Jim would do that. I feel so betrayed.
You're the one who's been betraying him all this time. Your son chose my side. He says he wants to cut all ties with you.
You're kidding! He's my son!
Then you should have acted like a father a little more. You didn't do anything for him growing up. You haven't done anything since elementary school.
That's not true. I paid his tuition.
But you said you couldn't pay all of it. So you worked hard for a scholarship to college. You really haven't thought about Jim, have you? It's a wonder you've lived this carefree all this time.
Don't say that.
But it's true.
It might be true, but I'm Jim's father. You can't just get rid of me.
Get rid of you? You wanted to get rid of me, right? Jim's caregiver became useless, right?
Yeah. Isn't Jim going to take care of me when I get old? Cutting ties with me when he doesn't need to be looked after anymore? Isn't that a little harsh?
Excuse me? Exactly what did you do to look after him? Do you even remember talking to him these past 6 months?
I've been a little busy recently.
What is the most useless employee of the month busy doing? Don't be dependent on your child when it suits you, you piece of trash.
Piece of trash? Don't talk to me like that.
Jim is an adult now, so he can make up his own mind. Instead of his father, who never cared for him, he chose his stepmother. It's not that strange, is it?
Then let's call off the divorce. Let's not do it. Let's just act like a couple.
What? You want me to stay with you for your retirement? You've always been a burden to me.
What? I was? Why?
But for the sake of Jim, I thought it would be better if we had double the income. So I was patient. To be honest, I'm really happy that Jim has my back about getting a divorce.
I didn't know you thought that way.
I don't want a selfish husband who only thinks about himself. Look forward to it, because I'm going to get that compensation money. Think long and hard about what you've done. Even though Jack was in a state of complete shock, he agreed to divorce Janet. Even Jim went with Janet. Jack, who was left behind, started living with his new girlfriend. But she started showing her true selfish personality, and Jack was disgusted. He decided to break up after being exhausted from her exploitation, and try to get back together with Janet, but was completely blocked by her after the compensation settlement. It seems he lost his whole family after being cut off by his own son. Jack realized that he was not needed by anybody, and is left to live the rest of his life alone. Janet was happy to be able to get rid of the burden that was her husband, and is still in touch with Jim, who lives nearby. She's living her best life alone. Even after that, she had a good relationship with Jim, who had a child a few years later, and Janet became a great-grandma. There's no need to say who is living a happier life, Janet or Jack.